Alright, we just opened the first hive that was up here for a while. We discovered that there are 2 frames missing, and that caused the bees to build some burr combs. We are going to remove the burr, and we are going to put in some of the frames that are missing, and we are going to give them some more feed because I don't think anything is blossoming at the moment. So we'll have to feed them to maintain that they will stay in the hive. These are Africanized, and they will swarm if food is inadequate. Alright, we are just giving them some feed until the trees started to blossom. When the trees are blossoming, we'll not be feeding anymore. So this is just to sustain them, because they will need sweet substance to consume, to generate energy, to keep the hive warm at night.
He's going to do all the lecturing. You got 10 and you're supposed to get 11 of them. There's 2 in each bucket.
Just back home and already on the job. I love my bees. Notice on this cover here, they are building drone cells. We need to put in the extra frames to give them more work. And we will soon have to put on a honey chamber because drone cells is a sign that they're becoming overcrowded and they will start making queens and swarm. This is what happens when frames are not built to the specific measurement. We'll have to remove this frame because the cover will be unable to close properly. And this is not one of the frames that we have made.
It's my frame, yes, but the box is not what I need.
But the boxes now will be made by the beekeeper. So if you make your box, it has to be precise.
Smoke out the back and put on this cover.
Again, we can see the second hive. A frame is missing from here too. And they started to build burr combs. Alright. But I don't think another frame can fit there until we remove the feeder. So this is for them to sustain until the trees are blossoming. This is still in the May-June season. And the May-June in Guyana is the rainy season. Take out a frame to see how well the queen is laying. We're looking at the brood pattern. So this will determine if the feeding system is working. Alright, let me see the other side. They got a lot of spots, I would say. Not so good, not so bad, but you know, we're hoping to see more brood pattern. It might have been something that went there that caused them not to take back that frame.
You see, they got spaces, but they got the white things inside there. Those eggs inside there, they got to cap those.
So a good frame will have all.
We're going to take out a second frame to determine what is the condition.
Checking Brazil first.
This is even better than the first one, but you know, not 100% what we will be looking for. But we understand it's not the honey flow season, and if this is what you're seeing during the rainy season, the May-June, that's excellent for now.
Right.
Remove that.
This is I should have bring strip.
So this is part of the maintenance that we carry out in the apiary, and we are working with the Africanized honeybees. Some people are still amused how we work with them. They say the bees are calm and they don't think they're Africanized. Well, you can come to Guyana and we'll give you a chance to work with the bees and see if you can do what we are doing. This is years of experience. You have to make sure the hive is smoked adequately.
You don't want to squash it when you put it on the cover, right?
That can cause the venom sac to burst, and the other hives will smell the venom and can go in an attacking mood. So you have to make sure there's no bees.
That's why I don't like these.
As we can see, the hive here are still removing their rubber bands that we have placed in the hive during capturing to hold the comb. Once it's been cemented, it's burst and thrown out of the hive. You look on the ground, you'll see some of the rubber bands on the ground. And they're still set in the entrance of the hive on their lighting board. So we are checking hive number 3. We will have to feed hive number 3 also, as these bees haven't been fed in a month and over. But the population in this hive is very strong, which is good.
See what I'm telling you.
And we are using some
We're telling you.
syrup.
So
For
we
the
just
honey.
that'll look like pepper.
These bees are eating. Now, because you smoke the hive, they think their surrounding is on fire. So the bees are trying to suck up as much honey as possible from the comb. So if they have to evacuate the hive because of the fire, their stomachs are filled. This will give them enough energy to fly to construct new honeycombs. So you'll notice some of the bees have their head buried in the comb because of the smoke. They're working with most of the bees have their head buried in the comb, as I mentioned. That's some of the things the smoke causes them to do. The brood pattern on this comb,
Excellent.
this is good. This is more than 50% of the comb has brood. Let me see the other side.
And solid brood too.
Not so much. Like here, I guess most of the bees have emerged from the brown caps. All right. We'll check one more. We'll check one more comb.
Look at this pattern, Sonia.
Excelente. Excelente. Turn the other side.
See this?
Very good. Very good brood pattern. Very good. Excelente. Another hive has been opened here. And we can just make sure the queen is not in the cover.
Looking for sure.
I see they are calling. And that can be a sign that the queen could be on the cover. I can see a drone. That's a drone there. That's El Drono. I got him. Yes, I got him. I got him. I got him. As they say, squeezing or popping the drone reveals the drone's genitalia.
Be nasty. Why would you want to see the drone with genitalia?
And here it goes. I just popped him. And you can see it there.
Smells nasty.
Fertilized drone. After this, he will fall paralyzed to the ground and die.
Terrible.
You see the cover? Slowly. Make sure Her Majesty is not in the cover.
I gotta bring over how much ever feeders they got, right? So the boxes where you're putting on top, what you calling it?
The super high, the super boxes.
It don't get feeders.
No. When the honey flow starts and the tree starts to blossom, we stop feeding them. So they will bring nectar.
Correct.
At this point here, you have to feed because there's no nectar. And if you don't do that, the bees are going to abscond from the hive. Because they're going to go looking for food. It's going to be more than 4 to 5 mile radius.
It's on my back.
There's a leaf falling.
So once they find food further than where they normally go, they will move out and go closer to the food. So if we don't feed them during the drought period, they will abscond, not swarm, they will abscond totally from the
What's
hive.
the difference between swarm and
Swarming, the bees reduced in quantity by several queens go out with a quantity of bees. And absconding means the queen and everybody leave the hive. And you come and meet an empty hive. Just a hive body alone.
Careful, don't fall. It's the last thing here.
I'm smelling dukkha. Not bad for the drought period, you're still seeing brood. Let me see the other side. Not bad, just quarter of the frame, both sides has brood. Brown caps, and it could be that most of them have emerged and the queen may have just laid back into them. But at this time of the season, once there's no food, the queen will stop laying. But once we feed them, she'll continue to lay. So when the honey flow starts, there's enough force to go out and get the honey. Africanized bees, the reason for me smoking now and smelling venom in the air. Starting to smell some venom in the air. Alright, most of them are trying to suckle honey from the combs because of the smoke. Alright. Gregory, Yandy. This is Africanized bee country, Mr. Gregory Stewart. Gregory Stewart, this is Africanized bee country. Andrew Clark, this is how we do it in Guyana. Fully strapped.
See this?
See that? Very good for the dot period. You're still seeing brown caps, and that's because of the feeding. If you weren't feeding them, the queen would have stopped laying.
I'll show you this one.
So there's a little trick, some little slight technicalities into beekeeping to maintain the strength of the hive during the dot period is to continue to feed the hive so the queen will continue to lay. If you don't, she'll stop laying. This is a very good brood pattern for a dot period, and that's because of feeding the hive. Alright? So we just want you to understand the reason for us feeding the bees. Alright. Cover the hive. You must calm the hive down before opening the hive. This is a must, and they must be calmed adequately.
There's a double box.
This is a super hive, and I think the extra box is to accommodate the feeder, I should think. So if you notice, this is a super top and bottom, honey and brood chamber, when the others are just brood alone, single boxes. Our young beekeeper, young apprentice, and I mentioned young in the job and not in age.
Mom, you got to keep saying that. Like, they can't determine the by this suitor.
Right, they can determine that. She's a matured adult.
Correct, is right.
Let me see.
At the first crack of day, there must be smoke in the hive.
You like that?
They got a worm.
A worm? That doesn't sound good. That sounds like a moth. Let me see the cover. Alright, make sure Her Majesty is not in the cover. Because we don't want to crush her when we go in the cover back, or she fall in the ground.
Where that feed at the top here?
You don't see it?
Well, we already started doing. Wow, you see the beauty of feeding? Look at the quantity of brood on this frame. So this is 90% of the frame.
You see the top here is
That's
honey,
brood.
right?
Those at the top, that's where they start storing.
And if you look in the hive, you can see more.
And if you look in the hive,
Oh,
you'll
that's
see
the
more.
whitey
this white thing, this is honey here.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're feeding it, you see how it's white?
Right.
This is the sugar syrup.
So as soon as the flow begins, we are going to stop.
So if it was natural, it would have had a brown, more brown.
A little brownish color.
All right.
Look, this one even got more.
Look at this one. The brood pattern on this one is even better because of the feeding. All right. So we want you to clearly understand the reason for feeding the bees during the drought period.
You've said that about 14 times already.
That is students who dealing with.
Yeah, but persons who are going to be viewing it are going to take the feeding out of context.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
After you've said it
Mhm.
several times?
Yes, we are dealing with.
Brood and
Let me see that one. That one look better. Ah, the queen is productive on this one. This is a productive queen.
I hate the fact that she did
Is this queen from one of the queens that you guys bred
I don't know.
in the earlies?
It looks so.
All the queens is red.
Well, if it's bred queens, that's why they are laying so productive, because she's a young queen. Turn this side. Yeah. Shake that frame off. Shake the bees in the hive. I want to see the comb without the bees. Good. Turn around the other side. Yes, this is about 95% with seal brood. Another few days, most of those broods are going to emerge. Ain't nothing.
Still laying 3,000 every day.
1 out of 65,000 ain't nothing. Most of the hives are doing well.
Most is all them you.
I would say all.
Just
Go wrong,
thing properly.
You're wrong, sir. I just turn the bottle over in the hole and left it.
If you notice, I'm mentioning the reason for feeding several times so that persons will understand the reason why we do this. We don't normally feed the bees during the honey flow. We only do this during the drought period when nothing is blossoming. There's no trees blossoming. So in order to maintain the hive and to let the queen continue to lay at her peak, we have to maintain by doing this. As you can see, this is a full out hive maintenance going on this morning, and all of the hive, we are checking the frames to see how well the queens are doing at this time. We are still in our May-June rainy season, but it's not that heavy, consistent rainy season that we are accustomed to during the May-June due to global warming. But when it rains in Guyana, it pours. Let me see the other side. I'm not seeing this side. All right, I'm seeing some pollen, some brood. There's some pollen grains there. And I think based on the color of this comb, most of the brood has been emerged already.
Yellow pollen.
I can see some yellow pollen there, if you can see it. All
So I
right.
holding this frame, Sonia.
Yeah.
You see how I holding it? You don't hold it like this, you hold it like this.
Oh.
You hold like that, you
It's
crush
great.
it. You crush it. In here has some chocolate brown brood, well sealed. Please don't take the calmness of the bees. They are fully Africanized. It's just that we've been working with them for years, so we are experienced in keeping them at a very calm level. Some of the overseas beekeepers are in disbelief that we are working so calmly with Africanized bees.
Let them come and try it.
Please like and subscribe to our channel as we will bring you more beekeeping in Guyana with Linden Stewart and others, Neil Grant, and members of the Guyana Apiculture Society.
There's no space to do nothing.
Why
here,
you open them? They look whiter than the rest.
No, it's not really the white we're
You
looking
want
at.
it
We
to
want the
be-
brown
you want the
caps.
brown.
We want to make sure the
Oh,
queen
white
is productive.
Okay.
White is honey. You want interested in
Okay,
it.
good.
We want to make sure the queen is doing her work. A hive don't have a queen and they can still store honey because they are bees. Ah,
What's the thing there with wings opening?
Yellow thing.
that's pollen on the hind leg of the bee.
Oh,
Show that there's a source of
they're in the class.
food somewhere. Another one has
Mhm.
pollen on his hind leg.
Another one that too.
I hope you can see it.
Seems like you're getting out of hand. Smoke up, smoke up.
You're getting agitated already.
No, I see the
This is fun. You can do this all day.
All right.
Wait. Let me check out some of these. This one here, I want to tell you already. This I won't be surprised if this one got honey.
It has.
I smell
Little bit.
something.
All
I
right.
smell something.
This is not true.
Because of
brown.
the grayish look.
Mm-hmm.
Look more brown. See no brood.
You can't over smoke neither. No?
Yes, you can. And they will abstain from the hive.
Okay, so you got to know the balance.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can be challenged to do the bit.
Overnight. This didn't happen overnight with him. Good brood pattern. Not bad. Turn the other side. Not bad. Yeah, but most of it is honey. And if you notice the darkness of it, I'm seeing a dumb queen cell there. I'm seeing another queen cell here. Turn the other side. Hold it just there. Hold it. This hive might have swarmed. They've made several queen cells. And because, hold it like this. Turn it back. Turn it back. Now if you notice the position where the queen cells are, it's at the edge of the comb, show that the queens that emerge from here are swarming queens. So this hive might have swarmed where queens went away with a quantity.
Maybe not up here. Maybe before it came here. Because remember this came from in town.
Right.
I don't think it's swarmed here. Because
I think you need to remove that thing on the frame that's going to bug them from moving. On the frame? Yes. I don't know what they are.
It's a strip for
Like rubber bands.
Yeah, they need to use rubber bands. Don't use these
No,
big
it's
things.
the strip for the treatment of the varroa.
But why are we treating them? We don't have Aurora.
Try it.
It's come with it.
You can't come with
It's
Just see.
Our young beekeeper is holding a frame with fear and trembling.
And it's full of honey. A fright from those.
Again, on this frame, just on this side, I think I'm seeing a queen cell there. And that's a swarming queen cell. That's why I can suspect that this hive would have swarmed
Sometime.
at some time because it's a swarming queen cell.
And then it come back.
No, the queen went with a quantity of bees.
Oh,
And she left one of the queen that was not yet emerged from the
this
cell.
big hole showing is
the
the
queen come
Or
out
the
from
queen emerged from the cell.
So you need to carry this to school.
plenty of them.
You got plenty of them.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all carrying the one over.
Yes,
so
we
I
can carry it
say
over.
I'm
So
putting-
on one of the hives that we brought.
I am putting
No, me putting feed in it. Well, we could put feed in
This
it.
is a mature hive.
Look at this.
Just smoke the hive.
Usually when you see bees on the land, they're more like that because they got honey.
Smoke the hive.
Like yardie.
I think that smoker need recharging. Don't open the hive until you recharge that smoker.
I don't open the hive, you recharge it.
No, they gotta wait till the charge. As- I guess if we do that,
You get it recharged, the boss.
Me, you know.
I don't know.
It's true.
All right.
Go around the corner here.
This super hive, this hive has a super, and I think they're doing well because they're working on the super, and I can see they build out most of the. No. Most of them here are built out. I don't know what you guys gonna do.
Me?
Check this one here.
All I'm doing is checking it.
Mr. Stewart.
Let me see. These are new broods, new combs in the super. As you can see, the bees are coming up more in the super.
This is good. This built out.
This is
Yeah.
okay.
It's built out well.
This built out perfect.
The honey dripping down there.
Perfect.
This guy is heavy. This guy's
Now when the
a
honey
lot
flow
of honey.
starts, we don't have an excluder, but we have discovered when the honey flow starts, the Africanized bees restrict the queen from going into the honey chamber to lay.
Feed.
Hold on.
Look at what you got in the super.
Yeah.
And there's more than half bag of sugar these bottles.